This young man who had just turned 20 had been dead and resurrected for 3 years and had inadvertently unlocked an overpowered system. It sounded like a cheat code reincarnation, perfect for total domination. But Lin Yu's system turned out to be the Underworld Bank. So far he had accumulated 90 trillion in underworld currency. Hell money. Did he have to wait until he was in the underworld to live a life of luxury? A normal person might have dived headfirst into hell for that kind of indulgence, but Lin Yu had had enough of death and didn't want to try it again no matter what. Suddenly, the water droplets turned blood red, and a crimson notice appeared on the bathroom mirror. Congratulations, you have received an invitation to the 5th closed beta test of the horror game. Time remaining until instance opens, 16 hours. Lin Yu thought, what the hell is this? This wasn't his underworld bank system. That one appeared in his consciousness and he knew its contents without looking. This horror game system, however, was definitely from an external source. Lin Yu tried touching the mirror and immediately felt a terrifying power beckoning him. Dark, cold, eerie and bloody. With the familiar scent of death, Lin Yu told himself to calm down. According to the notice, he had to enter this horror game tomorrow. He was in the 5th batch, which meant the game had been running for a little while. When in doubt, ask Google. Lin Yu immediately opened his computer and searched for the keyword horror game. Unexpectedly, all he found were sensationalized fake news articles. Flipping to the last page, Lin Yu discovered a blood-red website about the horror game. It turned out that the mysterious incidents happening everywhere weren't fake news but were caused by players returning from the horror game. To deal with this game, the 9th Investigation Center was established. Those chosen would enter survival instances filled with malevolent spirits, and anyone who violated the game's rules would become food for them. At least half the players died in each instance, but the survivors would gain the ability to control ghosts and ghostly artifacts. Whether you lived or died was all up to whether your ancestors were looking out for you. Lin Yu felt that entering this game wasn't necessarily a bad thing. If there were really demons and ghosts in the game world, then the real world might not be safe either. He had to get in there and gain the power to fight these malevolent spirits as soon as possible. Besides, Lin Yu had his underworld bank system, which should give him a higher chance of survival. Perhaps his so-called underworld currency system existed precisely for this underworld game. Lin Yu changed his clothes and waited for the underworld's roll call. At the stroke of midnight, a flash of light appeared. The ground beneath Lin Yu's feet cracked open and he fell into another dimension. This instance was the Yellow Springs Inn, and the mission was to work and survive here for 2 days. Accompanying Lin Yu were 5 other players. Lin Yu landed gracefully. Ahead was a dilapidated inn surrounded by a desolate and gloomy landscape. Just then, the other 5 appeared. 3 men and 2 women. A tall, burly man spoke up. Looks like everyone here is a newbie except for me. He was a player from the 4th batch. Instances occurred once every half-month, making this his 5th time. But surviving wasn't easy, and his hands, covered in hideous scars, were proof of that. After seeing this, the 2 girls' faces filled with fear. Lin Yu calmly stepped forward. Brother, it's amazing that you've survived so many times. Do you have any experience you could share with us newbies? He was surprised. For a newbie, Lin Yu's composure was unlike the others' panic. Perhaps he could survive the instance. The veteran explained that the ghosts in the game don't kill randomly. As someone with experience, he offered 2 pieces of advice. First, don't break the game's rules unless you want to become a ghost dinner. Second, the basic rules would be communicated to the players in a very direct manner. This information was similar to what Lin Yu had read online yesterday, but it seemed there was more to watch out for. To ensure their own survival, others might use you as a sacrifice. Just then, the door creaked open with a horrifying sound that made everyone turn their heads. An old man with a twisted face and a strange smile walked out, welcoming everyone to work at the Yellow Springs Inn in a raspy voice. He introduced himself as the inn's accountant, here to assign tasks on behalf of the proprietress. Although he was just an old man, his chilling aura sent shivers down everyone's spine. He was clearly a malevolent spirit. Before they began, the old accountant wanted to tell them a few of the inn's rules. Lin Yu immediately focused, ready to memorize them, because these were the inviolable rules of death. First, no matter where they were assigned, they had to work diligently. If they slacked off, the proprietress would not be merciful. Seeing the expression on the old accountant's face when he mentioned the proprietress, Lin Yu guessed the proprietress was a much stronger spirit than him, which was why he was so afraid. The second rule was not to damage anything in the inn. If something was broken, it had to be compensated for at full price. Third, do not go against the guests' wishes. While the proprietress wouldn't punish them, there were many ill-tempered guests in the establishment. If they found an excuse to teach a player a lesson, the proprietress wouldn't protect them. After summarizing and seeing no one had questions, he began assigning jobs. He pointed at the veteran. You look big and strong. Go to the back kitchen and chop meat with the cooks. The veteran walked away in silence, not forgetting to give them a look that said, take care. Next were the addict-like youth and the woman in her 20s, who were assigned to clean the guest rooms, while the bureaucratic-looking middle-aged man was to go upstairs with him to learn bookkeeping. That left Lin Yu and the female student. The old man looked at the 2 and assigned them to be waiters, taking orders and serving food. The lobby is straight through the door. I hope you 2 little ones know what's good for you and don't mess up. The old accountant chuckled sinisterly, scaring the young girl pale. Lin Yu quickly pulled her hand and led her inside. If she kept standing there frozen, she'd probably be the first to die. After they went inside, the girl introduced herself by her surname Li. Lin Yu called her Xiao Li and didn't give his full name either. The veteran hadn't introduced himself by name either. Perhaps it was best not to reveal one's identity. The two walked into the lobby. All they could do now was wait for customers to arrive and then serve them. Just then a customer walked in, causing both of them to turn pale. A large, bulky ghost saw them and started drooling. "There are actually humans here." Lin Yu's mouth twitched. He forced a smile and respectfully invited the ghost in. The ghost walked in irritably, muttering, "Oh, so you're the waiters. If you hadn't spoken, I would have thought you were ingredients the inn provides." They had passed the first test without incident, but Xiao Li was still reeling from the shock of what she had just seen. He sat down on a wooden chair which groaned under his weight and shifted from its original position. Lin Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Thankfully, the chair didn't break. Otherwise, he didn't know if they would be held responsible for the damages. The ghost took out 2 gold coins and said loudly, "First, get me a pot of hot water and a set of tableware." Lin Yu once again bowed respectfully and went over to where the water was boiling. The oddly shaped bowls and chopsticks confused Lin Yu, but he had to get on with his work. Xiao Li tried to lift the teapot, but Lin Yu immediately stopped her. The pot was heavy. He would carry it to avoid any mistakes that might anger the customer. Just then, the teapot opened its mouth and screamed, "Ah, so hot it hurts. Kill me." With that, it spat out all the hot water from its mouth. The scalding water splashed onto Lin Yu's hand, causing a searing pain. He instinctively let go and the teapot fell to the floor, shattering into pieces. Xiao Li looked at him. "Lin Ji, the pot's broken. Should we hide it?" Lin Yu silently commended Xiao Li. She didn't try to make him take the fall alone, but hiding it was probably impossible. The old accountant who had been waiting nearby jumped out. "Such clumsy young people, breaking a teapot right at the start. This teapot is worth 50 when you just started working, so you probably don't have the money to pay for it. In that case, you can pay with the hand that broke it." The old man stretched out his mutated hands and rushed forward. "Stop," Lin Yu shouted. "Who says I can't afford it?" Lin Yu immediately summoned his underworld bank system and withdrew 500,000 in underworld currency, converting it into copper coins. Just as he thought, this system was made for spending money in this game. It was the first time Lin Yu had been able to withdraw money. A beam of light shot out, preventing the old accountant from getting any closer. His arms immediately retracted. Faced with Lin Yu's pure yin energy, which was even denser than the proprietress's, beads of sweat broke out all over his body. Lin Yu held several strings of copper coins. He tossed a string worth 1,000 wen to the old man as compensation. The old accountant was terrified. 1,000 wen was more than enough to buy his ghostly life. If Lin Yu gave that money to the customer to kill him, the customer would surely be happy to do it. Even the proprietress would agree. The fact that Lin Yu could now produce a full 5 guan of cash scared the old man from causing any more trouble. Even ghosts felt a sense of awe when they met a mega-rich whale. A mere 50,000 in underworld currency was enough to scare him like this, and he had a whole 9 trillion. His special ability was definitely more powerful than he had imagined, and besides, the old accountant's reaction seemed to be restricted by the rules. Malevolent spirits couldn't just kill and rob people at will. Lin Yu picked up a string of cash and handed it to the old man, telling him to take it. Aren't accountants supposed to be good with money? The old accountant had never seen so much money in his entire afterlife. Just holding it felt like dying all over again. Lin Yu paid him no mind because he now had a mission from the underworld system called First Purchase. If Lin Yu spent over 100,000 in underworld currency, he would receive a cashback card and a bottle of 9 nether soul cleansing wine. The system had priced that yin energy teapot at 100 underworld currency with a payment limit of 100 times. If he exceeded 100 payments, it wouldn't count toward the spending mission. He wasn't concerned about the cashback card. If there was one thing he had, it was money. What Lin Yu cared about was the 9 nether soul cleansing wine. It sounded like something special. Although he could use money to command ghosts at will, the rules might get fuzzy at any time. To survive safely in this world, it was best to rely on his own strength. Now that he understood the instance's rules, Lin Yu wanted to complete the system's mission as quickly as possible. "How much for this plate?" Lin Yu asked. "Oh, 100 wen," the old accountant stammered. With a wave of his hand, Lin Yu smashed a dozen plates, startling even the old man. Afterward, Lin Yu gave the rest of the money to the old man as compensation. The old man didn't know his identity or purpose, but anyone with this much money had to be a good person. "This old one wouldn't dare call you brother, but if you have any difficulties in the future, I will go through fire and water for you, at your beck and call." The old accountant smiled fawningly, his eyes narrowed into slits, looking every bit the treacherous sycophant. Lin Yu gave him the money, his gaze sweeping over the pile of trembling bowls. Just then a voice spoke up. "Sir, please follow the rules. If this continues, we won't be able to stay open for business." The old accountant recognized the proprietress's voice. The voice didn't sound like a malevolent spirit at all. It was quite gentle. It seemed even the proprietress was showing deference to his wealth. But it looked like this method of spending money on compensation wouldn't work anymore. Lin Yu could only go back to serving the customer. If the ghost named Shi Zhang was dissatisfied, he would just pay him off. But unexpectedly, the ghost had changed his attitude. He spoke to Lin Yu respectfully in a low voice. "It's all right, I'm not in a hurry." The others stared, dumbfounded by his demeanor. He felt inferior. He couldn't even produce 3 wen, so how could he compare to someone like Lin Yu who spent money like water? He probably had a powerful backer constantly supplying him with yin energy. An idea struck Lin Yu. He offered to treat the ghost to a meal for making him wait so long. Then thank you very much, the ghost said with a blushing smile. Lin Yu told him to order whatever he wanted, it was all on him today. Unfortunately, even the most expensive soup here was only 100 wen, so cheap it was practically free. Although he was being treated, the ghost was still reserved, only daring to order one of each dish. The old accountant immediately seized the opportunity to report the order to the kitchen, but Lin Yu seemed dissatisfied, making the ghost think he had ordered too much and angered him. To his surprise, Lin Yu told him not to order any dish under 30 wen, and to order 2 of every dish over 30 wen. One person was paying, and 2 ghosts were as happy as if they had met the god of wealth. The old accountant showed a talent for mental arithmetic, totaling 830 wen and rounding it down to 800. No, let's make it an even number. Call it 1,000 wen, Lin Yu said. He had only spent 60,000 so far, he still had a lot more to spend. Just then Lin Yu had another great idea. So, following his instructions, Xiao Li hung a sign at the entrance. Lin Ji has arrived, and he's treating every ghost in the village. The next second the inn was packed with ghosts as lively as the new year. A headless ghost said, I'd never dare be so extravagant usually. Thanks to young Master Lin, my yin energy has grown stronger. Someone else added that the money Lin Yu used was brand new, its yin energy pure and dense. He must be the chosen representative of a ghost king, spending lavishly to make a name for himself. Xiao Li watched Lin Yu sitting off to the side, raising a glass with a group of malevolent spirits, and felt speechless. Wasn't he a rookie player? Seeing her walk by, Lin Yu immediately waved her over. Xiao Li, you've worked hard. Brother accountant, please add another order of the Great Yellow Springs tonic soup for Xiao Li. Money is no object, Lin Ji is covering everything. Just then the system notified him that he had completed the first mission. His previously empty inventory now contained a bottle of 9 nether soul cleansing wine. Drinking it could enhance one's soul and spiritual sense, raising the level of a ghost tamer or a ghostly being, but one could drink a maximum of 3 bottles. This was exactly what Lin Yu had been hoping for. Something that could make him stronger and allow him to control his own destiny. The moment Lin Yu uncorked the bottle, a fragrance filled the entire inn, startling all the ghosts. What kind of spiritual tonic was this to have such a dense and pure yin energy? Lin Yu tilted his head back and drained the bottle, immediately feeling a cold, pure spiritual energy spread throughout his body. First use, Lin Yu's spiritual sense 10, spiritual power 100. Attribute panel activated, became a level 1 ghost tamer. Lin Yu was very satisfied. Just one bottle had made him a level 1 ghost tamer. Money really can make ghosts do your bidding. After completing the first mission, the system issued a second one titled Spend Extravagantly. Spend 320,000 in underworld currency in a single transaction to receive a perfect grade ghost tamer contract. Lin Yu looked at the ghosts who were all stuffed to the brim and couldn't eat another bite. So how was he supposed to spend the money? The bulky ghost Shi Zhang had been observing Lin Yu the entire time. His aura wasn't strong, but he was incredibly generous and carried spiritual wine with him. He must be a powerful being whose soul had been damaged. The malevolent spirits here had all become ghosts due to lingering obsessions. What he wanted most now was to repay Lin Yu's kindness, not just to curry favor. Young Master Lin, if I may be so bold as to call you Brother Lin. He stood up and spoke loudly, taking out a mirror. I am truly grateful for your generosity today. I have here a yin artifact of unknown grade that I would like to offer you, brother. He had found this mirror many years ago, but didn't know how to use it. All he knew was that by infusing it with yin energy, he could see various types of ghosts in places where yin energy gathered. Lin Yu examined it. It was indeed a pitch-black mirror that reflected nothing. The underworld system detected its yin energy and identified it as the Ghost Dragon soul-locking mirror. Lin Yu immediately thanked Shi Zhang and stated the mirror's name directly, which stunned the ghost. He couldn't believe Lin Yu knew of this mysterious yin artifact. Lin Yu opened his inventory and stored the mirror. To his surprise, this action left every ghost present in utter shock. This human could actually store treasures in a dimensional space. He must have been to many dangerous places, or perhaps he was from a certain place. At this moment, all the ghosts had a single thought in their minds: curry favor with Lin Yu and win his approval. Another ghost also spoke up, wanting to offer him a treasure. It was a resentment furnace necklace he had acquired from the ghost market. Wearing it could block the strongest yin energy attacks from a ghost general level spirit, protecting the soul. It could also store yin energy for a counterattack when needed. Lin Yu accepted it. Although it wasn't as high grade as the mirror, it was very suitable for his current level. The other malevolent spirits didn't have anything valuable, so they each offered a stream of their source yin energy, infusing it into the necklace he had just received. Lin Yu immediately felt the power within him swell to the bursting point. Thank you, everyone. Lin Yu cupped his hands in thanks, and the group of ghosts beamed with joy, absolutely delighted. Xiao Li stood to the side watching them. The scene was even more exaggerated than subordinates scrambling to give their boss gifts. At midnight, the banquet ended. After checking the accounts, the old accountant was grinning from ear to ear. Today's revenue was 5 times the usual. Lin Yu looked out the window. The dense yin energy was sometimes turbulent, sometimes calm. No wonder that group of ghosts had left in such a hurry. Just then, the proprietress's voice sounded again. The day shift has ended. It is now dining time in the lobby. This meant they were about to meet the other ghostly beings in the inn. Lin Yu worried that these ghosts wouldn't be as easily bribed with money as the old accountant. Xiao Li wondered how the others were doing, and the system announced that there were currently 4 survivors. After all, this was a game. Lin Yu had money, but the others didn't. Although he had temporarily saved his life with the underworld bank, if he had been a moment slower in withdrawing the money, his arm would have been long gone. The ghost guests also refrained from putting him on the menu only because he treated them to a meal. Fortunately, besides money, he had other means of survival. The old accountant announced that according to tradition they would eat here shortly. Just then a voice rang out, "Old Ghost Li, why are you bowing and scraping to a new waiter?" A pig demon, no. A female ghost walked in with another woman. She was covered in injuries, and the blonde man who had been with her was gone, likely dead, but those two were unharmed. When the girl saw that Lin Yu and the other woman were still fine, jealousy and resentment welled up in her heart. Although Lin Yu noticed he did nothing because she couldn't harm him. Meanwhile, the old accountant and the female ghost were still arguing. It seemed the inn's internal relations weren't very harmonious. "Zhang Ma, you short-sighted woman, what do you know? You enjoy bullying the staff, but I want to accumulate good karma," the old accountant said in a low voice. Seeing she couldn't trouble the old man, Zhang Ma turned to order Lin Yu around. Using the excuse that he was slacking off, she swung a broom at him, intending to teach him a lesson. Lin Yu calmly continued sipping his tea as the broom was blocked by the yin energy from his necklace. She took a few steps back. "Mid-grade yin energy. So you were relying on this." Zhang Ma sat down resentfully, bending the chair, and glared at Lin Yu with hatred. It seemed she already held a grudge against him and would definitely kill him the first chance she got. His safety today was entirely due to the fact that the group of ghosts didn't know his true identity and were thus wary of him. If he couldn't deal with her, he feared the old accountant and even the proprietress would discover he was useless apart from his money. Just then the door opened and a figure even taller than Zhang Ma walked in. Both she and the old accountant broke out in a cold sweat. Lin Yu could feel that this newcomer was stronger than Zhang Ma. He shouted loudly, ordering the big brother to bring the food to the table. The big brother walked over with his head bowed. One of his hands was already gone. "Time to eat," the old man ordered. In the pot was a pitch-black substance. Xiao Li picked up an eyeball while the other woman picked up a pair of glasses. Could this dish be made from the two who had died? Seeing their hesitation, the old man shouted sternly, "What, you don't like my cooking?" Of course, no one dared to refuse. The old man didn't sit down but went elsewhere to pour wine. Lin Yu certainly didn't like this cook's culinary skills, but if he refused he would become the new dish on the table. As the cook poured the wine, the bowl cried out, "This wine is so sour and bitter." The old man tilted his head back, closed his eyes and drank it down like water. He glanced at Lin Yu, who was still sitting motionlessly, and flew into a rage. "Why aren't you eating, boy? Don't you like my cooking?" Lin Yu reluctantly shifted and stood up. As soon as the words were out, he snatched the wine cup from the old man's hand. "Wine that tastes like plain water must be hard to drink, right?" The next second, Lin Yu unceremoniously poured the entire cup of wine onto the floor. Everyone sitting there witnessed this and was panic-stricken. "Is he trying to get himself killed?" Zhang Ma's face twisted into a sinister smile. "Stupid kid, this time I don't even have to do it myself." His necklace definitely wouldn't be able to block that terrifying flame. Li's sister thought for a long time. No, based on the cook's previous reaction, he really didn't like the wine. Could Lin Ji be doing this on purpose? At this moment, Zhu Zhang's anger seemed to have reached its peak. "You seem to be provoking me." Just as the tension was at its breaking point, the old man's nose suddenly caught a peculiar fragrance. Zhu Shang regained his composure and at the same time saw a wine bottle in Lin Yu's hand. Then he heard Lin Yu speak again. "How could I provoke you, sir? Your culinary skills are so superb and your taste is first class, so I really couldn't bear to see you drink such inferior wine." After speaking, Lin Yu immediately poured all the essence he had brought into the wine cup. "Try my wine." Even the bowl could feel the yin energy of this wine and began to drink it down in big gulps. Zhu Shang thought seriously, "If an ordinary person dared to anger me, I would definitely kill them with a single punch. But he's right, this wine is much better than the inn's." After a moment's consideration, the old man finally sat down and compromised. "Then I'll try your wine." Lin Yu politely made a pleased gesture. Zhu Shang drank the wine in one gulp without hesitation. The moment the wine entered his mouth, his eyes seemed to flash with light. Every drop of wine Zhu Shang drank stimulated his boundless imagination. As his thoughts flowed, a look of satisfaction he couldn't hide appeared on his face. He drank cup after cup. Such pure yin energy could directly cleanse the soul and elevate one's realm. After finishing the wine, Zhu Shang suddenly exclaimed, "What fine wine!" Seeing his plan work so effectively, Lin Yu thought using the 9 nether soul cleansing wine to bribe him was indeed the best choice. He pushed his luck and continued to offer more wine. "Come on, old brother, have another cup." Zhu Shang seemed slightly drunk and couldn't bear to refuse the fragrant wine, so he decisively took a big gulp. Truly exquisite. Lin Yu stood aside, secretly analyzing. He saw that his wine bottle was empty and switched from gulping to sipping. It seemed the effect of this 9 nether soul cleansing wine was better than he had imagined. Thinking of this, he immediately summoned the system and soon another bottle appeared. Lin Yu handed it to Zhu Shang. The old man was very surprised. "You still have more of this fine wine?" He smiled slightly as if nothing had happened. "I'll fill a whole bottle for you, old brother." Zhu Shang happily accepted it, stunning everyone in the inn. "Then thank you, little brother." Seeing this, Zhang Ma couldn't believe her ears. This guy actually called that kid little brother? Suddenly her expression turned strange. "No, he's just a human." How can he be compared to a ghost? He must die here. At this point, Lin Yu suddenly said lazily, "What a pity." Zhu Shang sensed something was wrong and asked, "Little brother with fine wine at hand, what is there to regret?" He replied calmly, "Old brother is only drinking the 9 nether soul cleansing wine. Without side dishes you can't savor its full flavor." Before Lin Yu could finish, Zhu Shang immediately interrupted him. "You're right, I'm a cook, brother. I'll go make a few blood-enriching dishes to go with the wine," he sighed. "I know your culinary skills are superb, old brother, but the remaining ingredients aren't enough for you to showcase your talents." At this point, Lin Yu lowered his voice. "Whose body has more yin energy than a ghost?" The corners of his mouth turned up unconsciously. "Wouldn't it be more delicious to cook with ghosts?" Hearing Lin Yu's words, Zhu Shang murmured, "Cook with ghosts." He suddenly slapped Lin Yu's shoulder. "Indeed, it would be more delicious. Little brother, it's a shame we didn't meet sooner." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhu Zhang's gaze quickly swept across the crowd opposite them. Seeing this, cold sweat streamed down Zhang Ma's face like water. She shouted sternly, "What do you want? I haven't offended you. We all work at the Yellow Springs Inn, don't break the rules." Hearing Zhang Ma say this, Lin Yu immediately understood. The rules were indeed also effective for the native inhabitants in the horror game. Killing people and ghosts had to follow the rules. Old Ghost Li hurriedly tried to stop him. Not offending him means breaking the rules? Not necessarily. Zhang Ma, you just attacked this little brother. He watched them confront each other, frowning unconsciously. The old man shouted, "Unreasonable, I have the right to handle my own staff. You were the one who broke the Yellow Springs Inn's rules first." She frowned. "Old Ghost Li, you're trying to settle a personal score?" The old man's words seemed to enrage Zhang Ma, sending her into a furious rage. But before Zhang Ma could do anything, Zhu Shang had already made a move. The old man threw a piece of wood at her with all his might. Although Zhang Ma was in pain, she still managed to accuse him. "Zhu Shang, even if the proprietress put you in charge, how can you?" the old man reminded her. "Attacking an employee without reason during dinner time is against the rules of the Yellow Springs Inn. You broke the rule first." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhu Shang quickly gave her a sweet taste of his blade. "And this little brother is an excellent employee, diligent and friendly to others, so your crime is even greater, Zhang Ma." She felt the pain, unwilling to accept it. "No," before she could say another word, the power from the blade was released, causing Zhang Ma immense pain. Soon after, she couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed to the ground. Zhang Ma seemed to have completely lost her physical and mental strength, falling to the floor. Seeing this, Lin Yu couldn't help but be surprised. He didn't expect the cook to kill her directly. Zhu Shang carried her out, reminding Lin Yu at the same time, "Little brother, I'm going to process the ingredients. Help me keep the wine safe." He thought to himself, "This ghost cook is much stronger than I imagined. It seems I don't have to worry about Zhang Ma's sneak attacks tonight." In an instant, a thought flashed through Lin Yu's mind. "But this old ghost is obviously using Zhang Ma to test me as well." With that thought, he lifted his foot and slowly walked towards Old Ghost Li. Lin Yu suddenly took out a bottle of wine. "Mr. Li, thank you for your care today. How about I toast you?" At the same time, he thought, "I must use this rare opportunity to make an example of someone." The old man shivered all over. This young man not only had an extraordinary identity, but he also got the cook to kill Zhang Ma with just a few words. His methods were more cunning than anyone's. Seeing his expression, his earlier probing must not have escaped his notice. What if he tells Zhu Shang he's not full? What should I do? Old Ghost Li began to struggle internally. If I drink this wine, the cook will give me trouble when he comes back. Although this young man named Lin has more than one bottle of wine. Refusing a toast is disrespectful and will also get me into trouble. As his mind raced, a thought suddenly flashed through the old man's mind. "That's right, I can offer a treasure." Old Ghost Li analyzed. It was like this during the day. Young Master Lin offered a toast and that group of ghosts gave gifts in return. Although young Master Lin is rich, he doesn't seem to refuse gifts from others. The old man began to search. You can never have too many gifts, and this thing is useless in the Yellow Springs Inn anyway. Then, Old Ghost Li took out a piece of ebony and said, "Young Master Lin, this old one found something a long time ago." Lin Yu suddenly understood. "Coward, you're actually scared," the old man introduced. "This item is called ebony, a material used to make yin artifacts. This piece of ebony was of superior quality, having been steeped for 1,000 years, making it more valuable than a high-grade yin artifact." Hearing this, he immediately activated the system, which detected a high-grade material, Millennium Ebony. Then he exclaimed, "What a fine item!" Lin Yu reached out and took the ebony. "This one-time spending mission is considered complete." He smiled nonchalantly while tossing the ebony in his hand. "Old Ghost Li, this thing is not bad. How much are you planning to sell it for?" The old man hurriedly waved his hands. "It's a gift for you. How could I dare to ask for money? Please just accept it." Lin Yu was a little dissatisfied upon hearing this. "How can I not pay? I'm a man of principle. How can I take such a valuable thing from you for free?" Old Ghost Li was stunned, his eyes starting to wander. This must be young Master Lin's rule for survival in this world. To be more precise, survival and killing in this world must follow rules. But this is a taboo for everyone, and asking directly would be offensive and coercive. Old Ghost Li thought for a moment and then said, "Then you can name a price." He threw out 3 strings of copper coins and asked tentatively, "How about 3 guan?" Soon the old man was mesmerized by the money, tears welling up in his eyes uncontrollably. This wasn't offering a treasure at all. Old Ghost Li was suddenly overjoyed. "This is my chance to get rich," the old man thought. "With these 3 guan of copper coins, my and the proprietress's indentured servitude contracts can be terminated 10 years early." The moment he thought of this, old Ghost Lee knelt before Lin Yu without hesitation. He bowed his head low. "Thank you again for this second chance at life." After a while, old Ghost Lee was still kneeling and thanking him, stunning everyone in the inn. Lee's sister witnessed this and said admiringly, "Lin Ji is amazing." The big brother's feelings were the complete opposite. This new player can make a malevolent spirit kneel and kowtow. Suddenly a light flashed in his eyes. Could he be from one of those legendary ghost-taming families? He then began to observe Lin Yu carefully and cautiously. Just then the system suddenly announced, "Single transaction exceeds 30,000 underworld currency. Congratulations, host, for successfully completing mission 2. Spend extravagantly. The reward perfect grade Ghost Tamer contract has been issued." He looked at it for a moment. "If I'm not mistaken, with the Ghost Tamer contract I can control ghostly beings to fight for me." The next second the system quickly provided specific information. Perfect grade Ghost Tamer contract. You can contract ghostly beings of different grades. After signing, the ghostly being will not betray or retaliate and will be absolutely loyal and obedient to you. Valid for life. Lin Yu was surprised. You can contract ghostly beings of different grades. After signing, the ghostly being will not betray or retaliate and will be absolutely loyal and obedient to you. It's valid for life, so I won't have to worry in the future. Other ordinary contracts probably can't reach this level. Old Ghost Lee kept hugging his leg. "Thank you for this second chance at life." Lin Yu looked at the old man and thought, such a good thing can't be wasted on a minor ghost like him. He pushed old Ghost Lee away without hesitation. "If I get the chance I should still." Before Lin Yu could finish his thought, Zhu Shang suddenly rushed in. "Little brother, it's done. I've made a dish with the ingredients for cooking." He quickly placed a plate of meat on the table and explained, "This is my first time preparing this kind of dish, so I don't know how it is. Little brother, you should try it." He picked up his chopsticks, lifted a piece of meat and observed it. This guy was indeed quite skilled. It was impossible to tell what kind of meat it was, but it contained yin energy, which was a great supplement for both ghostly beings and ghost tamers. With that thought, Lin Yu decisively put the meat in his mouth. As soon as he swallowed it, the system's notification sound rang immediately. "Consumed a malevolent spirit's essence, spiritual power 1. The system kept ringing like this. Current level, level 1 ghost tamer, spiritual sense 1050, spiritual power 101,500. Lin Yu's eyes widened. It really does have the effect of increasing spiritual power. He then turned to Zhu Shang and gave him a thumbs up. "Very delicious, both tasty and nutritious, and also clean and hygienic." The old man was stunned for a moment, then laughed. "It was your idea that was good, little brother." He raised his wine cup and clinked it against Zhu Zhang's. "Cheers, old brother." Afterwards the two seemed to be immersed in their own world, oblivious to everything around them. Lin Yu ate the meat mouthful after mouthful, and the system's notifications followed. "Consumed a malevolent spirit's essence, spiritual power 1. After a long time the clouds in the sky gradually dispersed. At the same time he finally finished the plate of meat on the table. Lin Yu let out a long breath and exclaimed, "My spiritual power reached 197 after just one meal." Zhu Shang was also thoroughly drunk by this time. "Good wine." He looked at the old man and thought this cook was originally the biggest death threat in the instance, but after being bribed by the 9 nether soul cleansing wine he's brought me so much benefit. Suddenly the proprietress's voice echoed throughout the room. "All right, dining time is over," she ordered. "Old Ghost Lee, take them to rest," the old man quickly replied. "Understood, proprietress." Zhu Shang sobered up and said, "What a pity. Little brother, let's call it a day." Lin Yu waved goodbye politely. "Goodbye, old brother. See you tomorrow." It seemed he didn't fear the proprietress as much as the accountant did. Old Ghost Lee ordered, "Hurry up and clear the tables." They all complied. He smiled, thinking he might as well help them clean up. Just as he was about to step forward to help, a beautiful voice sounded, "Young Master Lin, come to the 3rd floor to see me." Lin Yu noticed that no one else reacted and guessed the proprietress was speaking to him telepathically. With this in mind he calmly walked up the stairs. He thought carefully. To protect himself in this horror game he had to use money to pave the way, which had, as expected, attracted the proprietress's attention. The proprietress must be the final boss of this instance. Her wanting to see me today, I wonder if it's for better or for worse. A short while later, Lin Yu finally reached the 3rd floor and stood before an ornate room. This must be where the proprietress lived. He pushed the door open without hesitation. What greeted Lin Yu's eyes was her powerful aura. He saw a beautiful woman sitting quietly on the edge of the bed, a faint smile on her face. Lin Yu guessed she must be the proprietress of the Yellow Springs Inn. He regained his composure, took a deep breath and walked in calmly. The rules prevent her from killing outright, so she probably won't attack immediately. I'll just have to play it by ear. Lin Yu quickly cupped his hands and asked proprietress, "I ask why you have summoned me." The woman spoke with a hint of bashfulness. "Young Master Lin, for you to come to my humble Yellow Springs Inn, it was my fault for failing to recognize your greatness and making you work as a waiter. I hope you won't take offense." Hearing this, he was taken aback. He hadn't expected her to apologize to him and quickly replied, "It's nothing. I was just experiencing life." At the same time he thought to himself, this proprietress is a much stronger malevolent spirit than Zhu Shang, and her personality is anything but simple. I absolutely cannot let her see through me." The woman spoke again. "But while young Master Lin was experiencing life, you've managed to turn my inn quite upside down." Lin Yu cut her off. "I can compensate you tenfold for the bowls and tableware that were broken." Her voice turned coquettish. "The tableware is a small matter, but Zhang Ma was an old employee of the Yellow Springs Inn. He tried to explain, yes, but unfortunately she was killed by the cook. I'm just a new waiter. With 2 old employees engaged in infighting, I really didn't dare to intervene. The woman clenched her fan, crushing it to dust. What a fine infighting. She tossed the fan aside and stood up. In that case, I won't argue with you. Spiritual energy began to radiate from her body. Young Master Lin, I don't care how great your status is, nor do I care about your purpose for coming to the Yellow Springs Inn. But instigating conflict among my staff and getting my employee killed, this matter cannot be settled so easily. Lin Yu looked at her calmly and probed. Then what do you mean, proprietress? She frowned. Zhang Ma contributed a great deal to the Yellow Springs Inn. Without her, it will be difficult for the inn to operate. She then pointed at him. You must compensate for the loss caused by Zhang Ma's soul being obliterated. So she wants me to pay compensation, Lin Yu thought. Understanding her intention, he got straight to the point. Then how much do you think is appropriate, proprietress? She named a number. 20 guan? Then she suddenly changed her mind. No, 50 guan of copper coins, Lin Yu sighed. After all that, it was only 50 guan. So a malevolent spirit was only worth 500 teapots. He quickly called upon his system and requested to use the cashback card. The system received the command cashback card used. The next purchase will receive a random cashback of 2 to 10 times the amount without another word. Hundreds of guan of copper coins immediately rained down. As expected, she was quickly dazzled by the money. Suddenly, he made a request. I'll give you 100 guan. How about letting the cook work for me from now on? Hearing Lin Yu's request, the proprietress was incredulous. Hey, this young man actually wants to use money to buy my cook. He thought in the proprietress's eyes, these malevolent spirits are nothing but tools for making money, and I can tell that Zhu Shang isn't happy here either. Lin Yu sank into thought. Zhu Shang is powerful and his personality is simple and straightforward. I have a perfect grade ghost tamer contract which allows me to contract ghostly beings of different grades. This is the best choice for all of us, including the proprietress. The proprietress calculated in her head. He's actually taken a fancy to that big guy from the abyss. Well, although he's strong, he's just a cook to me. It wouldn't be bad to sell him. With that thought she spoke. He's been with me for many years. Besides, what inn can do without a cook? Then the proprietress emphasized each word. You'll have to add more. He immediately snapped his fingers, signaling the system another 1,000,000. Soon, 1,000,000 guan of copper coins rained down, leaving her stunned. Lin Yu said, another 100 guan. Is the proprietress satisfied now? The proprietress looked at the copper coins and immediately agreed. Then it's a deal. Without wasting words, she quickly took out Zhu Zhang's contract and decisively threw it to him. Lin Yu deftly caught the contract and immediately opened it. Zhu Shang is willing to follow the orders of the master of the Yellow Springs Inn. Once Zhu Shang earns 10,000 guan of yin energy copper coins, this contract will automatically become void. After reading it, Lin Yu sighed. In the proprietress's mind, Zhu Shang was only worth 200 guan, yet the contract states 10,000 guan of yin energy copper coins, which is 10 million in underworld currency. Considering the most expensive dish here is only 100 wen, it would be a pipe dream for the big brother cook to ever regain his freedom. He suddenly had an idea. I won't make empty promises. I'll just state directly that the contract is valid for life. The proprietress reminded him, as long as you destroy this contract, the cook will be free. But I can't guarantee he'll sign a new contract with you. Lin Yu waved his hand. Don't worry about that, proprietress. I have my own way of handling it. After walking a few steps, he suddenly stopped. By the way, proprietress, if I wanted to sign a contract with you or buy the entire Yellow Springs Inn, what would your asking price be? Ah, hearing this, she said. Stop. The already gloomy atmosphere in the room grew even more somber. The proprietress spoke first. Both I and the Yellow Springs Inn are not for sale. I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, young Master Lin. Lin Yu took the hint and backed down. So money isn't everything in this horror game after all. In that case, I won't disturb you any longer. With that, he walked out of her room without hesitation. Inside, the proprietress pouted, honestly asking for a price but not having a little more patience. Then she thought again. But I have a feeling I'll have the chance to see him again in the future. A moment later, Lin Yu finally returned downstairs. He pushed the door open, startling those inside. Li Nian's face lit up as she blurted out, It's Lin Ji. The woman next to her wore a serious expression. Can't let my guard down. This guy is no less terrifying than those ghosts, Lin Yu said nonchalantly. Sorry about that, I just made a deal with the proprietress of the Yellow Springs Inn. The three of them were shocked. Not only could he chat and laugh with the malevolent spirit cook, but he could even stand on equal footing with the instance's boss, the proprietress. The big brother spoke up. According to the mission notice I received, you should be a new player. Could it be that you're from one of those reclusive families? He sat down on the floor casually. I was just lucky. I had a fortunate encounter and received an inheritance, that's all. His face fell. So that's it. People like you really exist. I'd only heard about it on the forums before. Lin Yu faintly guessed. From the sound of it, there's a forum where players of this game can communicate, the big brother confirmed. That's right, he added. This is exactly what I wanted to tell you all, the big brother asked. You all know about the newly established 9th Investigation Center, right? Li Nian answered honestly. I've heard some rumors. Was it really set up because of this horror game? He admitted, yes. After you get out, you can call the 9th Investigation Center's number. Official personnel will contact you and provide players with some assistance, like information and channels to exchange for a small amount of yin energy. The big brother began to hand out business cards to each of them, not forgetting to add a reminder, but in exchange your identity will be registered with the state, and you must undertake certain missions and report your experiences in detail to them. It's like being an external agent. Lin Yu took the card and looked it over. The big brother said, "This is what I do now. It's the choice many people make. After all, if becoming a ghost tamer is real. Once you have your own contracted ghostly being, you'll have the chance to become a formal employee. In the future, you can form a team with others, which will greatly increase your survival rate in the game." Hearing this, a spark of hope was ignited in them. Lin Yu asked curiously, "Does that mean we have to keep participating in this horror game forever?" The big brother replied, "Yes, players are summoned every 2 weeks at midnight. I've heard some high-level experts can also pay a certain price to enter voluntarily. After all, although the horror game instances are dangerous, they are also filled with opportunities." As everyone listened intently, he suddenly spoke up. "Besides the 9th Investigation Center, the forum also allows you to interact with other players of this horror game, right?" He didn't deny it. "That's right, it's an anonymous website managed by high-level ghost tamers." Lin Yu was puzzled. "Anonymous," the big brother explained. "Yes, there's a rule in the horror game. After you leave an instance and return to reality, others can't remember what you look like. The forum is a buffer zone prepared by the officials for those who don't want to reveal their identities." Hearing this, Lin Yu seemed to understand. "I get it." Suddenly, the big brother turned to the two women. "Do you two have any other questions?" A short while later, everyone found a place to sleep. "Good night then." "Good luck to everyone tomorrow." Lin Yu couldn't sleep, so he sat up and summoned his system. The system panel immediately chimed. The cashback card was activated during the host's last purchase, totaling a spend of 2 million underworld currency with a random cashback of 5 times. "Congratulations, host, for receiving 10 million in underworld currency." He opened his eyes slightly and asked, "So what's the new mission?" The system continued to chime. "Mission 3, spend incomplete." "Mission details, make 3 purchases exceeding 100,000 in underworld currency. Prices raised more than 5 times the original value by the user will not be counted. Progress 03. Rewards, 1 cashback card, 1 bottle of 1-star Yin Spirit Essence, 1 5-star Lone Soul Talisman, 1 5-star Soul Extinguishing Talisman." The next morning, the sound of a rooster's crow echoed throughout the inn. Lin Yu woke up groggily thinking, "Is it daytime in the ghost realm?" He then stretched. "Is this a benefit of being a ghost tamer? I didn't sleep all night, but I don't feel tired at all," he thought to himself. "After my series of moves yesterday, Zhang Ma is dead, the accountant is scared out of his wits, and the cook Zhu Shang holds no hostility towards me. As expected, nothing unexpected happened during the night." The 3 other people in the room were also awakened and greeted him one after another. "Morning, Lin Ji." Lin Yu glanced at their faces and guessed. The other 3 were also awake, though they didn't look to be in great shape. Just then, a sudden knock on the door startled them. He quickly reassured them. "Don't worry, it should be the accountant coming to assign today's work." Old Ghost Li appeared with a fawning expression and asked, "Young Master Lin, are you awake?" Lin Yu walked forward. "Where is the cook now?" The old ghost quickly answered. "He should be in the kitchen." He replied faintly, "I see." Old Ghost Li began, "Young Master Lin, your work." Before he could finish, the old ghost suddenly stopped. "Never mind, a personage like young Master Lin doesn't need to follow the rules of the Yellow Springs Inn anymore." That thought, Old Ghost Li's expression immediately changed as he barked, "What are you all standing around for? Get to work." The 3 didn't dare to delay. "Yes, sir." Seeing the big brother still standing there dazed, the old ghost shouted sharply, "Hey you, the big guy, what are you spacing out for?" The big brother didn't hear Old Ghost Li's words, lost in his own thoughts. Truly worthy of a powerhouse from a reclusive family, over at the kitchen thick smoke was billowing from the chimney. Lin Yu walked in and spoke politely first. "Morning, old brother." Zhu Shang quickly recognized him. "It's you, little brother Lin. Come try this while it's hot. I just finished stewing this bone soup." His gaze swept over the pot of scalding bone soup. Then he declined. "No thank you, I came to find you about something important." The old fellow looked puzzled. "Oh?" Zhu Shang asked doubtfully. "Little brother Lin, what important matter?" Lin Yu asked directly. "Old brother, are you working as a cook at the Yellow Springs Inn voluntarily?" The old fellow's face turned pale as if his innermost thoughts had been exposed. Seeing his determined gaze, Zhu Shang sighed. "As I thought, I can't hide it from you, little brother," he recalled. "Back in the day, in the depths of the ghost realm, I was a rather prominent figure, but I was betrayed and ambushed." Zhu Shang paused and continued. "After escaping through many trials, I was on the verge of my soul being obliterated. Out of desperation, I sought refuge with the proprietress of the Yellow Springs Inn." Lin Yu understood. "So that's how it is." The old fellow turned back to stir the bone soup in the pot. "Although my injuries have healed over the years, this proprietress is not to be trifled with. I signed a contract with her, so I can only humble myself here." Zhu Zhang's voice grew lower. "I can no longer see the vast world nor taste its delicacies and fine wines." He looked at the old fellow with a serious expression. "What if I gave you an opportunity?" Lin Yu paused, then asked directly, "Are you willing to roam the 2 realms with me?" Although Zhu Shang was very willing, he stated the reason honestly. "The proprietress won't let me go." He was focused on stirring the bone soup when he suddenly heard him say, "Stop." The next second, Zhu Shang looked up at Lin Yu. He clearly saw the contract. Zhu Shang seemed unable to believe his eyes. How did you do it?" He also answered very honestly, "I'm very rich." In an instant, Lin Yu tore up his contract. I may not be able to guarantee you other things like freedom or safety. Zhu Shang watched his actions, stunned. Before he could finish thinking, he heard Lin Yu continue, but I can guarantee an endless supply of fine wine. Zhu Shang became excited. All right, since you're willing to spend so much money on me, little brother, and we hit it off right away, then I will go through fire and water for you, my brother. Without hesitation, he picked up the new contract, thinking, the food isn't important. What's important is being able to venture out with my little brother. As soon as the words left his mouth, Zhu Shang pressed his handprint onto Lin Yu's contract without hesitation, then handed it to him to inspect. The black and white were perfectly clear. The moment he signed, the system chimed. You have signed a contract with the ghostly being Zhu Shang. View attribute panel, Lin Yu replied. Yes, the system quickly displayed a series of Zhu Zhang's stats. He exclaimed, his attributes are 100 times higher than mine. His abilities are insane, Lin Yu analyzed. The Yellow Springs Inn looks dilapidated, but the level of danger is terrifying. If the instance didn't have rules to restrict things, and if I didn't have the system, all 6 of us players would have been dead long ago. Zhu Shang spoke. The soup is ready, he thought, but thankfully in this instance full of hidden dangers I still came away with a great haul. Suddenly, the old fellow knelt down. Little brother Lin, no master, from now on I, Zhu Shang, will follow you. Lin Yu stepped forward and said, don't be such a stranger, I'll have to rely on you a lot in the future, old brother. For such a happy occasion, why don't we eat, drink, and celebrate? A moment later the two raised their cups together to celebrate this happy event. After a while the sky seemed to darken. He sat in the inn with Lin Yan and the big brother, lost in thought. Lin Yu thought seriously, after getting Zhu Shang on my side, this Yellow Springs Inn instance is no longer difficult for me. His gaze shifted to his left. Xiao Li and that bureaucratic-looking uncle are still alive, but the other woman was torn to shreds after accidentally bumping into a guest while cleaning. Lin Yu's mood suddenly grew heavy. This is a horror game after all, overrun with malevolent spirits. Even with a cheat code system, money, and the ability to contract ghosts, I'm not invincible. He suddenly stood up. According to what the big brother said, the game starts once every half-month. I have to keep getting stronger with that thought. Lin Yu decisively walked out of the inn. After a few steps he seemed to sense something and stopped. Turning around, Lin Yu saw Lin Yan running towards him in a panic. Her voice drifted lightly on the breeze. Lin Ji, Lin Yan whispered to Lin Yu. Thank you, without you I wouldn't have survived the first day. Lin Yu replied, it's nothing, helping others is helping yourself. Just as he finished speaking, she suddenly stuffed a small slip of paper into his hand. Please take this. Lin Yu stared blankly at the string of numbers written on it. What is this? Lin Yan explained. I'm from Zhangcheng in the real world and my family has some connections there, so if you need any help in reality you can call me. Just as she finished, the system notification chimed. Congratulations, player, for completing the mission. The system continued to emit a piercing sound. The Yellow Springs Inn instance has ended. He wanted to say more, but at that moment the entire ground cracked open. Before Lin Yu could react, he had already returned to reality. He calmed himself and looked at the slip of paper. What a twisted fate. After speaking, Lin Yu casually tossed it onto the corner of his desk. He glanced at his watch and thought 2 days in the horror game was only a second in reality. A glint flashed in Lin Yu's eyes as he called out to Zhu Shang. He jumped in surprise and asked, Master, what is it? He answered calmly, nothing. Zhu Shang looked at him, puzzled. On the other hand, after checking his inventory system, Lin Yu thought, my contract with Zhu Shang is stable, and the resentment furnace necklace and other items are still here. So a ghost tamer can indeed bring ghosts and yin artifacts back to reality. He walked forward. It seemed the increasing number of strange incidents in recent years was likely the work of those ghost tamers with malicious intentions. Afterward, Lin Yu looked at the city view and was lost in thought for a moment. The world was probably no longer safe. At this point he couldn't help but recall what the bearded veteran had said. He would be pulled into the game every 2 weeks, which didn't leave him much time to prepare. Lin Yu sighed, I have too many secrets. It's not the right time to contact the officials yet. Compared to the 9th Investigation Center, the forum is more suitable for me to gather intelligence. A moment later he sat down at his desk and turned on his computer, the virtual IP address already set up. After registering an account, Lin Yu pressed the enter key and logged into the forum. Instantly, the Horror Games communication forum appeared on the screen. He looked around and analyzed. The official forum's announcements are nothing special. The 9th Investigation Center of Great Sha announcement. A line of text then appeared. The use of improper means to gain profit is prohibited. The use of means to harm others is prohibited. Actively leaking information about the horror game, the existence of ghosts, or spreading rumors is prohibited. Lin Yu was taken aback. Violators will be responsible for the consequences. Immediately he regained his composure. With an official organization managing things this way, it could indeed restrain those ghost tamers who wanted to expand their power. But I've just entered this world. The most important thing is to protect myself. I should check out the strategy guide the forum provides for players. With that said, Lin Yu decisively downloaded the file to his computer. Horror instances all exist in a place called the Ghost Realm. The Ghost Realm is vast and has countless ghosts, but they can only kill people according to explicit rules. Ghosts are divided into 7 levels based on their strength, while human ghost tamers are currently divided into 9 tiers. He thought, my perfect grade contract can ignore level differences, and Zhu Shang, who I've contracted, is at the fierce ghost level. Suddenly, Lin Yu stopped. But according to the forum, the horror game has already started 5 batches with 100,000 players. Except for the first batch, which was completely wiped out, the other batches all had survivors. He continued to look through the information. A small number of people have encountered 9 nether soul cleansing wine in the ghost realm and become ghost tamers. At the same time, he thought, I've already drunk 2 bottles of 9 nether soul cleansing wine, and I can still drink 1 more. I've used 3 to subdue Zhu Shang, so there's still some left if I'm not mistaken. Seeing the results on the screen, Lin Yu guessed to himself, indeed under the pressure of death players inevitably need to purchase materials, and this forum can provide a trading platform. As he read, a notification from the official forum suddenly popped up. The 4th official offline trading fair and a message asking for confirmation surprised him. Lin Yu looked at the series of information about the 4th offline trading fair and thought, the officials want to hold a trading fair in Zhangcheng. He was a bit confused. Can't the posts on the forum meet the demand? Soon after, a senior on the forum said he would tell everyone why the offline trading fair was being held. Online transactions don't allow you to see the goods, the risk is high, and you can't get your hands on good stuff. So the forum created this opportunity for everyone. Lin Yu breathed a sigh of relief. This senior on the forum is quite enthusiastic. In that case, I'll register an account and participate as well. My name will be. After considering 49 different names, he finally settled on Fengdu Emperor. 3 days later, the system announced the strongest godly rich system is activating. Today's random reward has arrived. Congratulations, host, for receiving 65,200 yuan. Lin Yu stood there and ordered, System, open the interface. He looked at the balance and felt excited. Now this feels more like a godly rich man. After speaking, Lin Yu quickly grabbed his suitcase. Today is the day of the trading fair. He walked forward happily. Off to Zhangcheng unexpectedly at 3:20 p.m. on a Monday, Lin Yu received a message. Thursday, 5 p.m., Locker 047 at Golden Plaza Shopping Center. He prepared a map, a name tag, and a mask. At 6 p.m., Lin Yu hailed a taxi by the Zhangcheng West Expressway. It wasn't until 8 p.m. that the car arrived at a deserted factory in Qingyuan District, Zhangcheng. It lived up to its name. The atmosphere here was incredibly eerie. Straight ahead, people were waiting in a long line to get in. Lin Yu looked at the name tag and thought, the offline gathering for an anonymous forum is really complicated, but it's also safe enough. This mask can block spiritual sense, and the name tag has an anti-counterfeit yin energy signature. While he was lost in thought, Kwang Dao suddenly spoke. Bai Yi's ghostly being, one of the 3 founders of this forum, is a very strong evil ghost. Lin Yu was stunned for a moment. So this yin energy intensity is at the evil ghost level. It's indeed far inferior to Zhu Shang, but to be used as a doorman. That Bai Yi must be no ordinary person. After a while, it was his turn for inspection. You can participate in the trade with an invitation name tag, the inspector suddenly added. If you want to sell something, go to the appraisal area first. Hearing this, Lin Yu couldn't help but glance at the few places for appraising items. He sighed. These machines look very modern. Can they really measure the grade of yin artifacts and materials? Kwang Dao suddenly spoke up. First time here, brother. Lin Yu recognized him. Oh, so he was that enthusiastic person from the forum. Before he could answer, the other person introduced. This is a machine produced by the official 9th Center. It can classify items into low grade, mid grade, and high grade based on the spiritual energy within them. Each grade is further divided into 3 tiers. Of course, some items are inconvenient to grade, like talismans and elixirs. The forum will invite 3 veteran players to evaluate them. He chuckled. Brother, you can rest assured. After listening, Lin Yu roughly understood. I see. Thank you, brother Kwang Dao. His expression became complicated. It seems the technology held by the officials and the strength of the first batch of players are much stronger than I imagined. Now is not the time for me to be arrogant. Thinking of this, Lin Yu couldn't help but look up. I hope the things I have at the trading fair this time can be exchanged for greater power. Just then, the yin energy measuring machine started operating. Xiao Zhang spoke. Low-grade, tier 1 yin artifact. Its function is detection. Not bad, you're very lucky. The person immediately replied, Thank you, expert. On the side, Kwang Dao heard this and was somewhat in disbelief. Low-grade, tier 1 even for a detection type. The price exceeds 100,000. Lin Yu next to him was also surprised. That much, he began to calculate. A low-grade detection type has such a high price. A mid-grade yin artifact like the resentment furnace necklace is probably priceless. Over here, Xiao Zhang was still appraising items. Zan yin iron ore, low-grade yin energy material. When it was the next person's turn, he glanced at it and said, Necklace, severe yin energy erosion. It's worthless now. Hearing this, the other party was stunned. What? Lin Yu witnessed all this and praised. The expert's eye is still very sharp. The results are exactly the same as the system's measurements. A moment later, he turned to Kwang Dao and gestured, You first. At the same time, he thought, but it's not guaranteed that when encountering some rare and strange treasures, that will be my chance to find a hidden gem. He walked excitedly to the appraisal table. Finally, my turn. As he put his things down, Kwang Dao clasped his hands and prayed for it to be mid-grade. However, the next second, the appraisal machine let out a piercing sound, leaving him puzzled. Huh? Xiao Zhang looked at the item on the table and commented, This doesn't seem to be a yin artifact, nor is it a yin energy material. Huh? Ace followed up. Strange, it seems to contain very strong yin energy. He Yang also chimed in. I can't tell its origin either. We can't guarantee its exact grade, you can set the price yourself. Kwang Dao walked to the back dejectedly. Even the experts don't know. Seeing this, Lin Yu encouraged him. Brother Kwang Dao, don't be discouraged. Maybe you'll find someone interested in buying it. However, these words were of little comfort to him. Suddenly, Lin Yu's system chimed with an item measurement notification, high grade, Pharaoh's strange bandage. He looked at every word on the system panel and couldn't help but ask in surprise, high grade. Seeing Lin Yu was distracted, Xiao Zhang called out, what do you want to have appraised? He quickly snapped back to reality and then commanded the system to exchange for 1 guan of copper coin yin energy. Soon, Lin Yu placed 1 guan of copper coins on the table thinking, let's get it appraised. I'll be low-key first and test the waters with 1 coin. A moment later, the yin energy in the 1 guan of copper coins was suddenly released. Xiao Zhang said softly, a very common yin energy material. If you have 100 of them, it would be equivalent to a low-grade Tier 3 yin artifact. Just as he finished speaking, Ace suddenly said, wait, it doesn't seem that simple. The yin energy in this coin is pure. It's impossible for there to be any impurities. He observed the copper coin and muttered to himself, Underworld Bank, could this be the currency circulated among ghosts? While Ace was lost in thought, He Young suddenly reached out and took the copper coin. There's more to it, he said with certainty. The quality of this yin energy copper coin is better than the money I've seen in instances before. At this point, He Young's expression suddenly changed. So there's another hidden rule in the ghost realm. It's normal for humans to possess special yin artifacts and materials, but possessing a treasure attracts trouble. If you want to trade with ghosts 9 times out of 10, the transaction will go wrong. But if humans can hold hell money recognized by ghosts, it's like having the guarantee of the Underworld Bank, and you can trade with ghosts. He observed Lin Yu, ghosts won't easily let currency fall into the hands of human ghost tamers. Perhaps this young man is an expert. Then He Yang looked at his name tag. Fengdu Emperor, I haven't heard this name before. Is he a new talent or a mysterious lone wolf from the 3rd batch? He asked seriously. Where did you get this thing? Lin Yu remained calm and replied, spoils of war. Xiao Zhang, sitting next to him, said, this is hell money. Interesting, not bad, he proposed. Friend, if you're willing, you can buy one for 1,500 yuan to make a friend. Lin Yu was surprised for a moment and calculated. 1,500 yuan for 1 coin, doesn't that mean 1 guan is 1.5 million? That's enough for a down payment on a house in Liancheng. Suddenly, He Yang interjected, 1,500? Why don't you just rob someone? You must also know that in ghost transactions it's not just the face value, the coin's value is also measured by its yin energy and item grade. After a moment he said, this yin energy copper coin is in perfect condition and has abundant yin energy. Our forum is willing to acquire it for 3,000 yuan. Lin Yu calmly replied, alright, I have some more. Are you sure you can make the decision directly? He Yang smiled, rest assured, your excellency. Even if you take out 180 coins, our forum can handle it. Hearing this, he let out a long breath, walked forward and then poured out a large pile of copper coin strings in front of them. The people present were immediately stunned. He Yang stood up hastily. I will contact Mr. Bai Yi immediately. At this moment, Xiao Zhang suddenly said, I'm afraid the forum can't take this much money this time. Sell a portion to me. I'll offer 3,500, no, 4,000 per coin for 20 of them. As soon as he finished speaking, the entire venue fell almost silent. Then everyone scrambled to shout, I'll offer 1,000, I want 10 too. They began to introduce themselves. I'm a Tier 4 ghost tamer, sell them to me, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Sell them to me, sell them to me. Kwang Dao watched this scene not knowing what to say. I just told him to say thank you, Fengdu Emperor. Will he hold a grudge against me? Lin Yu thought to himself. As expected of the godly rich system, this is truly getting rich overnight. The corners of his mouth turned up unconsciously. This way it's not an auction where the highest bidder wins. You also have to queue up, consider the factor of the strong and so on. Who to sell to and how much to maximize the benefits. The forum was in an uproar when suddenly a woman's voice sounded, everyone please be quiet. Everyone recognized her and immediately obeyed the command. Just as Lin Yu was wondering, the 3 appraisers suddenly said in unison, Mr. Bai Yi. They bowed and at the same time shouted, you've arrived. He sized her up. She's one of the founders of the forum, the Bai Yi who can make 2 fierce ghosts act as doormen. Thinking of this, Lin Yu politely nodded in greeting Mr. Bai Yi. However, she did not respond to him, merely walking past him lightly. Bai Yi picked up a guan of copper coins and said, 10,000 supreme grade yin energy copper coins, Fengdu Emperor. It's indeed a bit of a waste to sell such a good thing at an offline trading fair. Lin Yu smiled wryly. I ran into an urgent matter recently, a bit tight on cash. After a moment, Bai Yi put down the copper coins, 7,500 yuan in cash, sell this one when to me. She paused. On behalf of the forum, I, Bai Yi, would like to make a friend with your excellency. Hearing this, the crowd below immediately stirred. Mr. Bai Yi wants to make friends with Fengdu Emperor on behalf of the forum? I heard she's already at the peak of Tier 6, a truly powerful ghost tamer in Great Sha, not to mention the forum behind her. That person added, you know, in the horror game after passing 3 newbie instances, ghost tamers can become friends and form teams. Gaining Mr. Bai Yi's friendship is almost like having a protective talisman. When this proposal was made, everyone seemed unable to believe their ears. Lin Yu immediately took out several strings of copper coins and agreed at the same time. All right, as expected of Mr. Bai Yi, your move is truly extraordinary. She didn't rush to answer, but instead summoned a gold-swallowing toad. Only in, no out, absorbing wealth. It appeared quickly, bringing a mysterious suitcase with it. The gold-swallowing toad quickly threw the suitcase towards Lin Yu. He seemed to have guessed the other party's intention and smiled. She wants to test me. Lin Yu summoned Zhu Shang without hesitation, and he appeared in an instant under the astonished gazes of the crowd. Zhu Shang nimbly caught the suitcase flying towards him. Kwang Dao saw this scene and shouted in horror. So casually, over here, he opened the suitcase and said, "Master, please inspect." After careful observation, Lin Yu immediately ordered Zhu Shang to close the suitcase. He walked to the front and handed over a string of copper coins. "A pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Bai Yi." She took it with an unchanged expression. Afterward, Bai Yi decisively placed the string of copper coins into the gold-swallowing toad's mouth and said softly, "A pleasure doing business with you, Fengdu Emperor." With that, she vanished before everyone's astonished eyes. Mr. Bai Yi is gone. A moment later, she didn't forget to add a reminder that the offline trading fair was officially starting. As soon as her voice fell, the crowd from the forum quickly dispersed and soon reappeared inside the venue. "Quick, grab a good spot, there's still an empty space over here." As Lin Yu was looking around, someone suddenly approached him. "Emperor, would you like one?" He immediately waved his hand in refusal. "I've already sold my things and I have other business to attend to, so I won't take up any more of everyone's time." Various sales pitches echoed through the venue. "Come one, come all, don't miss out. Those who know their stuff are all repeat customers. People are inherently good, my business is honest." Lin Yu glanced around. He had just made 7.5 million in one go. He couldn't help but smile. Now he could buy some good things too. With that thought, Lin Yu walked over to a nearby stall and the system immediately chimed. Yin energy material detected, gradeless yin blood fruit, broken black copper gauntlets detected. Seeing this, he ignored the stall. Lin Yu walked to the other side, thinking that the vast majority of items without appraisal certificates were just junk. However, the most important thing for finding a hidden gem was patience. Suddenly, a line of text appeared in the system. Yin energy detected, mid-grade Dinglahu 7 kills. He quickly recognized that mid-grade was the same level as his resentment furnace necklace. Lin Yu immediately walked to where the signal was coming from, which was a black wooden box. He picked up the item and asked, "How much for this?" The man remembered him. "Isn't this the big shot who sold the yin energy copper coins?" With that thought, he continued. "I found this in an ancient tomb instance. The yin energy was faint, and he never knew what it was for, so if you want it, Emperor, I'll sell it to you for 2,000. Lin Yu took out 2,000 yuan without hesitation. "I'll take it," the system quickly announced. "Yin energy detected. Dinglahu 7 kills has been bound to the host," he thought to himself. "Now I have an attack method." Afterward, Lin Yu collected many more yin energy materials that bound to him. Lin Yu was delighted with his bountiful harvest. After walking for a bit, he saw Kwang Dao sitting with a dejected look on his face. "He's easy to find in this corner." He called out loudly, "Brother Kwang Dao." The man replied, "Fengdu Emperor, we meet again." Lin Yu looked at the items on the table and said, "You have quite a few good things here." Kwang Dao gave a bitter smile. "They're all low-grade trinkets I picked up in the desert. If you want any, I'll sell them to you cheap." He reached out and picked up the bandage. "This is the thing that couldn't be graded earlier, right? How much are you selling it for?" he analyzed. "I know someone of your status wouldn't be interested in my low-grade junk. Just a friendly reminder, brother, something that can't be appraised isn't necessarily a good thing." Lin Yu made a decision. "I know I don't have much money left." Hearing this, Kwang Dao immediately burst out laughing. "In that case, I'll just give it to you." He was surprised. "Ha!" Then he heard the other man add, "Even the experts couldn't appraise it, so it's just going to waste in my hands." "Brother, if you can use it, it means you're fated to have it." Kwang Dao's eyes grew serious. "Besides, you're a powerful person and I'd be willing to make a friend of you." Lin Yu sighed. "In that case, I can't let you take a loss, brother." As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately took out a string of copper coins. Kwang Dao panicked, estimating that it was worth 7.5 million yuan. Lin Yu wrapped the bandage around his hand. How can a mere string of yin-yang copper coins compare to real combat power? Immediately after, the system quickly announced, "High-grade yin energy detected. Pharaoh's strange bandage has been bound to the host." Meanwhile, everyone was busy hawking their wares. "This one's been appraised, come take a look." On the other side, in the forum's internal appraisal room, He Yang and Bai Yi were observing Lin Yu's transactions together. He was puzzled and asked, "Mr. Bai Yi, why does this Fengdu Emperor keep buying things that can't be appraised?" She answered honestly, "I don't know, but this young man is indeed very interesting." Bai Yi's mind instantly flashed back. Based on the feeling of his spiritual aura at the time, this Fengdu Emperor seemed to be only a level 1 ghost tamer, yet he summoned a fierce ghost in response to my test. She paused slightly. "I'm afraid I can't see through this Fengdu Emperor's method of concealing his aura." A smile unconsciously formed on Bai Yi's lips. "And now it seems he has a unique eye for appraising items as well. What a curious young man." In the trading hall, people seem to be continuing to hawk their items. "Give me a price." No. Lin Yu looked at his bag full of items and thought, "I've gotten all the hidden gems, but the money I earned is almost all spent. Should I sell something else to make more money?" While focused on his items, he suddenly heard someone's complaint. He's not even a ghost tamer, yet he's trying to acquire something like that. Arriving at the spot, Lin Yu saw Zhang Che holding a cardboard sign that read, "High price for items that can awaken spiritual sense and power without side effects." A person nearby said, "Items that can awaken spiritual sense are already valuable, let alone a rare one with no side effects. How can you expect to fight ghosts as a ghost tamer without paying any price?" His voice suddenly became firm. Our Zhangcheng's Li Group is willing to pay a high price. If there are truly no side effects, I'm willing to pay 10 million. They were astonished. 10 million, that's a fair price, so it's the Li Group which controls half of Great Shao's maritime trade. Over here, Lin Yu secretly guessed. Li Group, Xiao Nian, that sounds like the girl's name, and she hasn't awakened her spiritual sense yet. Could it be such a coincidence, he muttered. I've already reached my 3-bottle limit. I gave 2 to Zhu Shang, so I still have 1 left. I might as well help her. Afterward, Lin Yu handed a bottle to Zhang Che. I have a bottle of spiritual wine here. It should be able to awaken one's spiritual sense. He looked at the bottle, a little doubtful. Just like that? Seeing Zhang Che's hesitation, Lin Yu said sternly, yes, just like that. If you don't believe me, we don't have to trade, he quickly agreed. Chengdu Emperor, I believe you. With that, Zhang Che immediately took out a check. This is a check for 10 million. You can cash it at the Li Group any